Hey guys, this is Matt for Creative, and today we're talking about the DJI Action 5 Pro and why not to get it and why to stick with an older version if you have one already. If you don't have one, the DJI Action 5 Pro is going to be a great option for you. Go and get it. I've been very happy with my other ones. You've probably heard all of my talk about the DJI Action 2 and my I've been unhappy with the defects in it, but they've pretty much been corrected with the 3 and the 4 that we have here, and they've been improved, of course, with the DJI Action 5 Pro. But I have a few nitpicks here, and you'll see in a little bit why. But yeah, the first one is going to be, they called it the DJI Action 5 Pro. I thought that this was a pretty iterative update and not warranted to get to a pro naming, but also that leaves the door open to have something that's a little bit less powerful and maybe, you know what, I just had a thought, and here, let's go with this. So one of my favorite cameras ever has been the DJI Action 2, and that's because it's literally just this tiny thing. It's modular. This is waterproof, this is not waterproof. The mounting system is, it's okay. It could be a little bit better. I had my issues with it. But the fact that you have this tiny little camera, I love it. It's just, it mounts. It can either be mounted here, it can be mounted on your handlebars, but it is literally this small. It's like that GoPro Session, except actually functional, actually small, and actually has a screen on the back. It is beautiful. But my thought is, I wish that they had improved this and kept up with this size and form factor. Maybe made it a little bit bigger so that the battery would be a little bit better, because this has an internal battery. The 3, the 4, the original one, and the 5, they have swappable batteries, which means one dies, you can go in, but this one charges with the module as well, so you can kind of hot swap. There are pros and cons for each, but what I was thinking, now that they call these larger ones the Pro line, maybe they're going to be coming out with a newer version of this, just because this is one of the original DJI Action 2s. I think it has 32 gigabytes internal storage here. With the modules you can always expand that, but the modules are really finicky. If it bounced too much, it would disconnect the connection and then you would stop the video. So then they came out with, and they look functionally the same, I just had to write on here, this one has 128 gigabytes of storage, so it's a little bit better if you just want to use this and just recharge and record everything here. It's a little bit better, but I wish it was just a little bit more. But they didn't call it a Generation 3, and I just don't think they could have at the time, because it wouldn't work with their naming structure. But now that we have this, it allows them to stick Pro for the larger ones and then just regular Action for the smaller ones. Wow, that just kind of blew my mind. I'm sorry if I'm taking a long time getting to my other points, but that just caught my attention, and I have ADD or ADHD, and of course that's going to distract me from my other points. Anyway, we're going to go down now, and I had this whole thing, don't call it a Pro, maybe do call it a Pro now, but as an update from the 4, it is not that great. Sure, you have a bigger screen on the back. So we're going to power this one on here. You're going to see the screen on the back. It always seemed like it was missing something on here. Now the new one fills up the entire back. The new one has an OLED screen, and they say that it has improved low light functionality. And yeah, it kind of does, but it just kind of boosts up the brightness. It kind of, in my opinion, muddies up the image. And I remember Potato Jet and other YouTubers out there saying that, you know, like, which do you prefer? And a lot of people are going for the 4 at night. Of course, it's a darker image, because I believe it's the same sensor on the 4 that is on the 5. They're just doing a little bit something extra to brighten up that image, and that's something that could be honestly pushed to this in an update, unless I'm completely missing something. Maybe the lens is a little bit different, maybe something else is different, but I think that this is, yeah, I like a more contrasty image. I remember when the DJI Pocket, so right now I'm filming on a Pocket 3. I remember they came out with a 2, and I was thinking from the upgrade from the original to the 2, I did not like the HDR-ness of the 2. It's a little bit HDR-y, is a little bit much for what I wanted to use it for, and I preferred the image of the original one. Now, the original did not have as wide a lens as the 2, and now even this one has, so it just kind of fell by the wayside. I think I sold it or gave it away at some point, and now I still have the 2, but I am somebody who likes to see shadows, and for this they do have options where you can turn down the sharpening. Maybe it still is a little bit kind of HDR-y, but you can even see the shadows here beneath my hat. You know, it's still trying to focus on the face and make sure my face is all lit up, but you can see in the back it's like exposed to be pretty dark. Oh, there's my cat. Ninja right there. I prefer having cameras that really shoot in RAW, and that you can bring up the shadows yourself. So for me, where's my camera here? I used to be shooting a lot, and I think I may be changing to this camera, but I used to shoot a lot with a 16mm lens on this Canon M6 Mark II. For me personally, I don't see a reason to upgrade to Canon's new cameras. They're functionally just bigger. They have less features. Maybe they look a little bit better with the HDR because they have more, what do you call it? Like the stops. They're a little bit better at HDR looking images, and I think that would be great. But again, I like to be able to adjust that. If I want something that's bright and blown out, I'll just go film on my iPhone. If I want something with a little bit more distinction, I'm going to film or shoot with this. And this is kind of like a happy medium. I just like how well this does with natural light. We're being lit by natural light right now. I found a nice place in my apartment that I kind of like to go to, and during the day the light is coming here, so it's like a big light box on me, and I really like it. But I think I have gone down a tangent here. So again, the 5 is a little bit better at night. It's just brightening up things, in my honest opinion, after looking through a lot of people's footage from nighttime. But another thing, and I think the most significant thing that came to the 5 is that, first, it has a battery with a bigger capacity. That's one thing. And another thing, I believe the camera is more efficient. That's because, and that's saying this because this, I believe it gets twice the amount of battery life as the 4. The 4 to the 5. 5 gets double the amount that this one has. But the thing is, they say that you can take the battery out of a 5 and you can put it in a 4 for increased battery life. Now, I have not tried this myself, but I think it is. You'll get some more battery life, but it's because the camera is so efficient on the 5 that you're not going to get double, you'll just get increased battery capacity on this. And I love seeing that, but you could just easily just get a longer new battery and pop it in one of these and have a little bit better battery life, and you just can kind of live with that. But overall, do I think it should have been named the Pro? Originally, no, because it's just not worth that. But if that means that we can return and get something like this and call that the regular action line, please do that. That would make it worth it. If they don't do it, the Pro moniker on the 5 doesn't make sense because it's not that great of an update. So what do I recommend? I recommend, if you want to buy a great camera that's great in low light, that's great as an action cam, that has that magnetic mounting system on here, get the 4, because it's going to be on sale, because the 5 is now the newest camera. I believe that starts at $349, so you should be able to find this for maybe $299 or $249. You can even buy it used or refurbished for even less. And I wouldn't go at nighttime. The sensor on this is great. The 3 is significantly less good. The 2 has the same sensor as the 3 pretty much, and it does about the same in low light. But again, that size, you sacrifice that low light coverage for the size, that's exactly what I would go for here. So in my opinion, get the 4 on sale. wait for the 5, wait to see exactly what they do with this line, because as much as I didn't like how DJI dealt with the defects, or in my opinion, the defects of the Action 2, they are still a company that makes very interesting products, very functional products, and I find myself gravitating back towards it. Again, we're filming on one, we're showcasing one here, so they're doing a lot right. Anyway, guys, if you have any comments or questions, put it in the comment section below. Don't forget, I'm on Instagram and Threads at m8me9. You can email me at creativenyc2024@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Do you have a DJI camera of any kind? I have a few, and I just love to go through them, but put everything in the comment section below. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.